What's happened? So, last week I made a video talking about how optimistic I was feeling about Xbox after the Summer Games Showcase event, and, well, the news this week isn't so good. In fact, I think I have to say I stand corrected about my claim that Xbox might be back. It seems I might actually be not back. If what Satya Nadella said and what rumors have been hinting at is true, then it looks like Xbox's downward trajectory might just be accelerating. So, firstly, here's why I was feeling good about Xbox briefly and felt compelled to make a video talking about it. The new Xbox CEO, Asha Sharma, has been making good decisions, I think, in the last few months since she was brought on to help the Xbox brand recover some of its old life, get the fans energized, get the devs, feeling invested again, maybe even make Xbox competitive again as a first-party platform, and as a player in the console hardware space, which it wasn't lately. For example, like rebranding back from Microsoft Gaming to Xbox, which seems really obvious and kind of makes me wonder why Phil Spencer let it be renamed to this, soulless corpo name like Microsoft Gaming in the first place. Kind of makes me wonder, like, how that guy even let that happen. Because if Asha Sharma was able to make that decision, that means I think Phil, if he really wanted to, could have stopped it from happening in the first place. But, who knows what was going on behind the scenes there. But Sharma also made some other decisions that I think, relate to the branding that were really good, and then also bringing back console exclusives. That felt like a big statement from Xbox, basically saying that they're still taking Xbox seriously as a platform, that they're still going to be supporting it and making it something worth investing in for consumers. Unfortunately, what has come out in the last few days has been pretty different in tone, and in fact has kind of created a whiplash effect, which unfortunately I can't even really say I'm that surprised now. I mean, Xbox has so much. They've had so much contradictory messaging the last couple of years that this just kind of feels like more of what we've been seeing a lot of, in the last 2 years, right? Some good news comes out, and then immediately we see that actually all the good stuff might not happen, and more people might get laid off. So here's what the news outlets have told us this week. Number one, Double Fine, the maker of Psychonauts 2, one of the most successful, early Xbox Series games, might close. Number two, Compulsion Games, makers of South of Midnight, which was one of the best received Xbox branded games from the last couple years, also might close. I still gotta play that game, by the way. It looks pretty fun. Number three, Arcane. Well, after Redfall, I kind of understand this more, but honestly, one bad game, I'd rather they be given a chance to at least make another game and see if they can make a good one again. I mean, their bread and butter was making immersive sims, which I can't really say I know exactly what an immersive sim is, but whatever they did with Prey, if they tried something like that again, I think they could make something good, and I think it's unfair to shut a studio down just because they made one bad game that the creative people didn't want to make. Someone above them said, you need to do a live service piece of crap, endless grind thing with a vampire game with a hip-hop soundtrack. And then Ninja Theory, also makers of the Hellblade games, they just had a new game announced, Senua, in the showcase. It looks awesome. It looks like a big improvement from the prior game, and they might get shut down. I mean, the first Hellblade, that's one of my all-time favorite games. It's amazing. And even though the sequel wasn't as good, they definitely still have like some creative juice. Even in that game, I could tell they had some good ideas. I think they just had a bit of a learning curve, being kind of early Unreal Engine 5 adopters. And if it weren't for that, I think that game would have been a lot better. So with this one, especially seeing like kind of a short turnaround time, I think they could do a lot of good stuff with Senua. And again, like they might just get shuttered. I don't know if this game will even get finished, or if they'll just be shut down as soon as Senua's out. So yeah, Satya Nadella is going out and saying, we need to turn Xbox into a sustainable business, or I might have to shutter the whole thing and divert the funds to Copilot. And, okay, he didn't say that last part, but we all know that's what he's thinking. We all know that's the between the lines text when he says that. And, Copilot, you know what happened the other day? I tried to open the 365 Copilot app on my computer, but an old profile was signed in. So I needed to sign out of that and sign in to my current Microsoft account in order to use it. Only problem is, it kept having this pop-up window saying, oh, there's sensitive information here, so you need to sign in before you can access it. And it didn't give me an option to sign into another profile. It just kept prompting me for the password of the old one and didn't give me any other options. And if I closed the pop-up, it would just come up again, like instantly, so I couldn't go into any of my user settings. I literally had to open Task Manager, force close the 365 Copilot app, and uninstall it from my computer. And I would have had to reinstall it and then sign into my current account that I didn't, because why bother? So that's the state of the, multi-billion-dollar, world-changing AI product that's basically the reason for Xbox and other, Microsoft branches having tens of thousands of layoffs. The thing that you have to force close on Task Manager if you want to sign into another profile. And we get Satya going out, Xbox needs to be a more sustainable business if they don't want me closing the whole thing. Thank you. So, and this isn't the first, terrible messaging coming from this guy lately. Remember earlier this year, oh, please stop calling Copilot and generative AI slop, you sheep. You know you love the slop. Please, don't call it slop. You love the slop. Remember that? Yeah, I would say that Satya is worse than Bill Gates, but, I guess at least he's on in the Epstein files, as far as I know. So, good job, Satya. You're not a Fredophile protector. You're just a normal, greedy sociopath business leader who will lay off thousands of employees to maintain a quarterly profit margin of $23 billion a quarter. Yeah, the shareholders would freak out if next quarter Microsoft only made $22.5 billion in net profit because you kept your developers on the payroll between major game releases. So, yeah, we gotta fire all them, mess with their lives, ruin their livelihoods, so you can get your bonus. But that's how it goes. And there's so many of that same story you hear about, and a lot of you probably even experienced it. You work for a company, maybe it's having some struggles, so you and your team, you pour your hearts into it, you work your asses off, you work a bunch of unpaid overtime on salary to push to get more clients and to get more revenue and turn things around. And, halfway through that, the company owners, not the managers who actually do some work, but the owners come up and say, hey, I lost interest in this, so I'm shuttering the whole company and you're all fired. And see ya. Or, oh, I'm selling it and the new owner is probably going to fire more than half of you, so good luck with that. I'm taking my golden parachute now. Bye. Right. So, it's a tale as old as time. Or, well, as old as late-stage capitalism, I guess. So, I can't say I'm surprised. I hope Satya doesn't shut down all of Xbox's smaller creative studios, but only time will tell. I think I would prefer that Xbox just be spun off and have more independence. I think they could do well with less Microsoft involvement and actually, make a profit and put out more good games. But if they are spun off, I think unfortunately there would still be a lot of studio closures. So either way, it's not looking too good there. I just hope that all the creative teams and creative people, land on their feet and can realize their artistic visions so us gamers can enjoy and see what they've created and they can feed their families. Like, that's what counts at the end of the day. So I'm hoping things work out. Not feeling too optimistic that anything good will come out of Microsoft Xbox, unfortunately, but we'll see. Anyways, regardless of that news, though, happy gaming. Have a good day. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.